Guys, I'm gonna address something. It's the idea of training till failure. It's very common in the ether or the matrix for an individual to pop off in terms of their ideologies, in terms of their fitness practices, especially if they've been iconic in their life. But once they die, it almost supercharges, right? And one of these people was Mike Mentzer. The issue is people don't know how hard the guy actually trained when it means training till failure. And I can guarantee you, 80 or 90% of people cannot train like him, period. They think they can, or they think they're trained, but they're not. So it still begs the question, is pushing till failure a viable and good option if you just said that 80 or 90% of people don't do it? When I say 80 or 90% of people is, A, taking a super long time off the gym when they clearly haven't shown symptoms or haven't shown the lifestyle of actually being consistent. So you want to be showing up more consistently because you're creating a habit. Second of all, the guy was a beast. Like, he was on certain, I wouldn't say instruments because they're not beneficial, but that aided in that kind of training. So I would take the same approach, but I would do it in a manner where you're not really compromising joint health, like your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your knees, right, giving out on you. Because first of all, you live a sedentary lifestyle, highly inflammatory lifestyle. You only train 2 or 3 times a week, and then you go from one static position to another, and then you're not training with somebody who's pushing you. You don't have somebody there like Mike Mentzer helping them out. So what do? Options are, if you don't want to kill yourself with tons of weight, drop sets, holds, statics. The idea of pushing yourself to failure is pushing yourself to failure in the threshold of the capacity and the manner of the weight that you can handle at the appropriate time. What do I mean by this? You do 10 reps, max weight 100 pounds. Does that mean you stop? Well, if you want to push it till failure and you can't push 100 pounds, then drop 25%, drop 30%. How many can you do? Perfect. Drop that again, and then you rest. Then the idea is you've pushed yourself till failure because you've achieved new heights in terms of the pain that you've induced and prompted your body, but you are training till failure, but in a different manner. Why is this important? Because you exponentiate your strength. You come back 2 weeks from now, and instead of every time it hurts, and every time, oh, it hurts, but I can't lift anymore because it's 100 pounds and I already gave out, I keep pushing myself. And then the next time I pick up the 100 pounds, I can do 11. I can do 12. Why? Because I pushed myself to failure, but I've done it in a manner, in a capacity, and I took a path that was optimal in terms of health, in terms of your joint health. And what does this mean? This means like pushing yourself to failure. If you're in a fasted state and you're fat adapted, this means pushing yourself to failure maybe means no more reps in terms of you doing your legs. Maybe it's like doing this, but instead of then going like this and then being on your phone like this, like most guys, you get up, you stretch, you hang, you decompress, you focus on your breathing, you focus on they're switching your song, or they're switching the podcast, or they're switching the incentive of what you're gonna do. Now, if you are working with a partner, somebody who can help you with support, then yes, I wouldn't focus so many on drop sets, maybe doing one drop set, but doing the drop set and then having your friend or the person who's gonna help you aid you in those motions where you're going up, and it's the hardest. It's like that lifting, because then on the negatives you can probably handle that, and that's where you're expediting your forces. That's where you're really pushing yourself to failure. So that being said, my friend, I would push myself to failure in a healthier manner, in an approach where I'm every day showing up, sharpening the axe, because then you're less likely to get injured. Now, if you're on certain substances and you lived a dynamic life, like you were a server, you worked on a farm, you're busy, you're always using your body, then yeah, maybe that approach is good if you have somebody who's gonna help you out in terms of your reps, because you're not static lifestyle, you create movement, but then you train. Now, if you're all day sitting in a desk, the last thing you wanna do is go there and go crazy. So guys, it really depends on where you are in life, what your goals are, and then how are you gonna get there? And it's asking yourself that question. So me right now, what are my goals? I can tell you very clearly. I'm not gonna speak on most of them on camera, but some of them are gaining muscle mass. And they're like, well, Nathan, if you're gonna gain muscle mass, why would you take 2 months off the gym? Because I needed to rest. If the creator created the planetary cosmos and took rest, and he suggests rest, then you, my friend, are not better than him. It's just understanding when you're gonna rest, and rest doesn't mean couch potato. Rest means resting the vessel in the most appropriate manner. That doesn't mean go drinking alcohol, smoking, and partying. That's not resting. Yeah, you're not working out, but you're not resting. You're still overdriving the body with tons of dopamine, tons of drugs, tons of substances that are either negative unorganic or synthetic that make things worse. Rest is like hot cold therapy, sauna, massage, go for a walk, go for a hike, go play some pickleball, go for a swim.
Sleep.
Like good, proper sleep. Not sleep with EMF devices around you, not blue light. Like you want to mitigate every single thing possible for you to be able to obtain the most results. Like my first hypertrophy training that I did was a moon cycle. It was a full moon. I worked from 1 a.m., well, like 12 to 3 a.m. My protocol was hot and cold therapy in the shower, stretching for 30 minutes, got into the red light therapy chamber, focused on my breathing, focused on certain humming that basically almost create like a parasympathetic activation into my system, because it's important to be in a relaxed state once you come back to an environment that you're not peak condition like you used to be. So I do that, get into a relaxed state, and then I started stretching, and then I started separating the muscles, working them out, but I did the whole body. And then when I finished, I focused on some breathing, and I took a couple of days off, and today is round 2. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it, guys. There's no excuse not to work out. If you ask me, Nate, is it better for me to drive 30 minutes or an hour to go to the gym 3 times a week, or work out from home every day, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, to have the appropriate vessel to be able to tackle a more insurmountable challenge to most people? I would highly suggest becoming educated, becoming confident, and becoming disciplined, and studying how to train with the body weights, and how to train with your own body weight, and how to train with bands. So that being said, guys, progressive overload is a must.